in this video, what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna do my breakdown, walkthrough, and overall final opinion of the Heybike Ranger. Check this thing out. And you know what? Big shout out to the guys at Heybike. They did send me this to give like my opinion on and see what I thought about it. I'm just gonna try to pass that information on to you guys because I've been using this for about a month now. Everything from campsite, small, easy mountain biking to down on the beach. Let's start the walkthrough now. Woo!
To 29, almost 30. Woo, 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 woo.
So what is the Heybike Ranger? Well, what this is a step-through foldable e-bike. And what that means is this thing has a lever right here. You can fold this thing down, which I will like show like folding it down, because you can fold this thing down by using this lever here, this lever right here, and the pedals will come in and go like that. Go over the specs on this. So what this is a lithium ion rechargeable battery, 500 watt brushless motor. I'll throw the specs up on the screen now. 48 volt, 15 amp hour battery. And this is a class 2, 3 e-bike, meaning that it will go up to 20, 25 miles per hour, which keeps it legal within that class 3 range. And this thing is either throttle or pedal assist, or you could just pedal it like a normal bicycle. You don't have to use the battery, and you don't have to use the pedal assist if you don't want to. It's a very versatile bike as far as like what I've been using it for. I've been running shuttles. Mostly the reason I have this is for kayak shuttles. I want to be able to shuttle my boat back to the top. I have actually just shouldered my kayak and went all the way back to the top and been just fine with that, which has worked out perfect for me anyway. This thing's been a beast. It's worked just fine. I was very impressed on how much power that little 500 watt motor pushed out. And it comes out of this battery, which is removable. And to remove it, you lift the seat up. Check this out. Turn the key all the way, and then you just pull on it like that. And you can see you can remove this battery completely out and then take it in the house and charge it. I lifted it up and I didn't even know this was on there. There is a secret charge port. Charges an iPhone, a GoPro, whatever, while you're riding. This bike can hold up to 330 pounds of weight. And the average, there's a chart, the average height that they're recommending is going from 5'3" to 6'2" as far as height. This bike's bigger than what you think. It kind of looks small, but when I got it, I was really impressed on how big this thing was. It's bigger than you think. You can adjust this seat right here. You pull that lever and you can adjust this seat. You can adjust the handlebars right here, so the handlebars can go higher if you want more of an upright and more comfortable position. You can go higher with the handlebars or lower with the handlebars. All right, already covered all the specs and the height and all that type of stuff. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover the parts on this thing. So when I got this thing, it came in a big box from FedEx, and it took me about 30 to 45 minutes to assemble. I'll leave a link below on Heybike's assembly instructions, because I didn't want to go and try to do an entire video on how to assemble it. I looked up their video and it was easy to follow, easy instruction. It was like the pedals, the seat, front tire, the fender, the light, and the handlebars. It was 98% assembled, so it was pretty easy to assemble. If you got a little bit of assembly knowledge, you'll be able to smoke through this thing pretty fast. So let's go ahead and let's start breaking it down. First off, check out these aluminum wheels. There's no spokes in these wheels to kind of get out of whack or messed up. These are solid aluminum wheels, 20-inch by 4-inch wide tires. Look at the width on these tires. These tires actually add a lot of shock absorbent. I found very beefy, grippy. They went through everything I threw at it. They're supposedly puncture resistant, and I put these through the paces pretty hardcore, and I never had a problem with them. And they add a lot of cushion. And as far as cushion, you know, you can see you've got a shock absorber here in the seat that kind of shock absorbs there, and then you have a front fork that has the ability to lock out or adjust the rebound on, which I didn't find that it did that well on adjusting the rebound, but the lockout worked fine. That thing was quick to just lock it out, and then it didn't move at all. I did get saddlebags with mine, so I'll throw a picture up of the saddlebags on it because those things are awesome. And you do have this rack right here. I noticed there are some bolts, so if you just hated this rack, you could take it off, but I like the rack. I put stuff on it. The battery charges right here. It has a little lever that lifts, that slides up like that. That's where you charge the battery. You can remove this key. Now that battery's locked in, it's not going anywhere. Don't lose your key. It comes with 2 keys. I put 1 key up that's on my key ring, and another key just stays with it right here. Seat was nice and comfortable. It seemed to work just fine for me. I rode this thing for hours upon hours, and I never had any issues with the seat. Seat felt good. 1 cog in the front, and it's got 7 in the back, so it's a 7-speed, and that's mostly used when you're on pedal assist or not using the throttle, because this thing is throttle only and pedal assist. So there's several different versions on that. Has a little protector for the derailleur. Brake light works when you turn the headlight on. It works off of the battery, so the headlight and brake light works, and then when you mash the brakes, it actually flashes, so it actually works like a real brake light. Really cool that they did that. It is an LED headlight. It is adjustable. You can adjust it right here with this screw. You can loosen that screw and you can adjust your headlight up and down. I found this headlight was way better than what I thought it would be. It has a reflector as a backup, but that headlight worked extremely well, and that headlight runs off the battery. So you not have to worry about adding batteries to the headlight or having to change out batteries and all that. And these are all removable. If you didn't want this front fender on or the back fender and this cage, if you wanted to look more BMX-y looking, you could take all of that off and kind of change the look a little bit, but I like it because it doesn't throw, when you're running through water and stuff, it doesn't throw stuff back up in your face. 20 by 4 inch tires in the front also. Aluminum solid wheels. I like that. Those wheels are beefy and they feel like a tank. These are disc brakes in the front and back, 160 millimeter rotors. Would I like to see hydraulic brakes? Yes, but I think that's a available upgrade that you could probably do yourself if you really wanted to. Now moving up here to the actual like handlebars and all of the mounts. I guess it's a faux leather, but these things felt really good. They are locked hand grips. I've seen other e-bikes with hand grips that would twist on you. These are solid. You can rest your hand. These are the ergo hand grips. Very nice that they did that, because these hand grips felt amazing. You don't realize how important locking hand grips are until actually one pops off on you or one spins on you. Then that's when you realize, I want some locking hand grips. It has a Shimano shifter on it. To shift it, you can see it's all thumb. It was done extremely well. I was impressed on how easily that thing shifted with me. The rear brakes, and both brakes on this front and rear have a motor shut off. So when you mash the brakes, it turns the motor off. So worst case, and that's what that wire, it'll turn the motor off instantly. The brakes are adjustable. You can either pedal assist this or thumb throttle it. And me personally, I use both. I use throttle and pedal all the time on level 3 because I want to go as fast as possible. I live life in the fast lane. But I get it. Some people might not want to use the throttle. They might just want to use pedal assist 1 and just kind of like barely kick around if they're a little nervous on an e-bike or like doesn't want to go that fast. You don't have to use the throttle, but it is so great to kind of like stop and just go throttle only and just go wide open. Yeah, and over here, so on this side, on the left side, you have a horn. You have the headlight. So this plus and minus it'll show level that you're on. If you're on level 1, 2, 3, there's different levels here. There's a speedometer. If I want an odometer, I can have an odometer right here on the side. This is a dimmer, so you can go dim or bright. It has a battery indicator up here to let you know how much battery you have left. Really, these 4 buttons are all you need to know. Oh, and a power button. So you got a power button that turns it on and off. Hold that down, that'll turn it off. just hold that for 3 seconds and it pops on. And you can kind of see it all come on right there. But yeah, there you go. That's the complete walkthrough of all the parts and pieces. I did a speed comparison test of 0 to 3 as far as like speed to see exactly how fast this thing would go and how good this thing rides. And I'll click over to that now, then I'll finish up with my final thoughts. So yeah, let's do that now. Pedaling it like a bicycle. I can feel the extra weight of this thing. It's not crazy heavy, but I can pedal this thing pretty easy. So I'm in gear 5, and like I said, I'm just using the gearing. I'm in 5, let's go to 7 and get it up to speed. I feel I could hold this 15 miles an hour easily, and I'm 100% pedaling. So on setting 1, I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to go throttle only from this point. And I've got it set, so setting 1, there's 0 is bike, obviously. 1 is 40% engine power. I'm full throttle, and it will not go over 10 miles an hour on setting 1. It looks like it's going to hold 10 no matter what. I wonder if can I go faster? Yeah, so I can pedal faster, but there's no engine assist. See, there's nothing. For a lot of people, I get it. 10 miles an hour might be a lot for them. So let's go ahead and stop. So now let's go to setting 2. Throttle only, setting 2. 70% power on setting 2. And these are all adjustables in the settings. You can set this from like 1 to whatever, I think up to like 20, and then really customize your setting on your power range. Wow, setting 2 is 20 miles an hour. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna go over 20 on setting 2. I feel the motor kick in right there, but then the motor drops off at 20. So it kicks in, then it drops off at 20. It will not let me go, but that's a good cruising speed right here. And this thing is balanced really well. So I can kind of like, no handlebars, hands on the hips, real cool. We'll stop at this red light and go to setting 3. All right, setting 3. Let's go from here. Dead stop, setting 3, 100% power. This is all throttle, setting 3. And you gotta think, I'm probably about 185 right now. Yo, whoa! You gotta remember that you're on an e-bike. So now you're on setting 3 pedal assist. Let's see how fast we can get this thing going. I think I need to get on the road. I feel the engine still kicking in. 24, I'm coming up on a red light. Here's the thing, I use the throttle to kind of get it going, and then I use the pedals. That's where the throttle comes in the best. The combination of throttle and pedal assist is the way to go. All right, I'm up to 27, 28. 28 miles an hour is pretty good. And it's not like air pedaling just yet. So yeah, my final thoughts. So here you go, everybody. Final thoughts on the Heybike Ranger. One thing I had found, this thing is super comfortable. I rode it all day. Seat worked extremely well. Has a shock absorber here, shock in the front, which I locked out 90% of the time because it is not a mountain bike. Let's just get that out of the way. If you think you're buying a $5,000 mountain bike to run trails, that ain't what this thing is. This is more of a small commuter bike, going downtown, running to the store real quick, zipping around campgrounds, running your kayak shuttles or something like that. Absolutely phenomenal. Loved how compact this thing was with the breakdown of the folding mechanism. Extremely compact. Not the lightest thing, but I could put it in the back seat of a car. I can put it in the back of a hatchback, in an SUV, whatever. I think you guys will really like that. Very comfortable, was adjustable on the handlebars, put my hands up at a higher rate when I wanted to lift my handlebars up. The seat, I thought the seat could be a little higher as far as that, because when you do sit on it, it seems to compress that shock down a little bit and it gives a lower feeling, but you know what, I was fine on that. This bike seemed to do everything that Heybike wanted it to at this price point. I was very impressed with how well this thing performed on pretty much everything I threw at it. I even did some harder mountain biking and it seemed to handle it very well. The displays up here was very easy to read display, easy to understand. As far as cons, the brakes did squeak a little bit, and I would have liked to seen bigger rotors on her. These are 160 rotors, but I'd like to seen 180 at least on the rotors. Hydraulic brakes would have been better. They're a little easier to squeeze on the hydraulic brakes instead of mechanical brakes. The weight's a little heavy, but when I removed the battery, the seat, I could handle this thing pretty good. So overall, I didn't have a lot of cons on this thing. I really like this attention to detail that they put on here. They even put like a thing so you don't scratch your frame right there, and I like how they did that. That's actually designed to hold your cords instead of just a bunch of zip ties. That looks so much cleaner and so much more premium. So yeah, and this bike, you know, it retails right now for $14.99, and I think they've got it on sale for $12.99. I'll leave links below where you can go, and there's a bunch of accessories you can do. You guys leave in the comments if you use any type of foldable e-bike, what your favorite is and what you like about it and what you didn't like about it. And if you have a Heybike Ranger, I'd really like to hear your opinion on it and what you think about this bike, and if you liked it or you disliked. Leave your pros and cons on this bike. This thing has been an absolute blast to pedal around and zip around everywhere. That's all I got, everybody, on the Heybike Ranger walkthrough and review, and I will see you guys out there. Woo! Hopefully running shuttle on your e-bike. Woo!